We're about to take off for a little quick 1.5 day trip to Yosemite. A big part of what I really wanted to kind of teach in this workshop was sort of how I approach, I guess, shooting in the outdoors and sort of on a spec non-assignment. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm basically just doing a road trip with some friends. And I wanted to kind of invite Creative Live along for the ride. So I wanted to go through some of the gear that I'm bringing so you guys can kind of see how I'd essentially pack for a trip like this, where I'm going to be shooting obviously just the stuff that I want to be doing in general, but also prepare myself for, like, great, you know, is there going to be a good opportunity for star trails? Is there going to be a good opportunity to maybe shoot a couple tent shots or a couple of camping scenes? Just like the most, you know, for me, it's really just about prepping and being ready for those things. You know, the more obviously you know, the less you need. So if I can kind of pare down to the essentials, it really helps, I guess, the flow and enjoyment of kind of a weekend trip where I'm still going to be shooting a little bit, but also really there just to have fun. So that being said, we're in my kind of part of my office, and I'm just going to go through the essentials. So I'm bringing with me a tripod, lightweight, nice one that I could backpack with if I want to go out in the wilderness for a couple days. I'm also going to bring a small Joby, just something that I can basically throw on a ledge, maybe shoot a time lapse, something like that. Pano head I've used before, and it's really nice if you're using mirrorless cameras, something that I could, you know, do a stitch across, you know, the valley or something like that. And then I have my camera bag. So camera bag's here, f-stop, one of their new Mountain Series packs. In here, I've got, I'll just kind of go through the basics, but I've got 3 headlamps. I always bring extras because usually the people I'm traveling with forget them. So I try to bring extras for that reason. So 3 headlamps, Petzls, and a black diamond. Side pouches, filter kit, just a little Mindshift filter kit bag, which has got, you know, a variety of filters, as well as a grad in here, kind of a backup graduated neutral density filter. I'll also bring like a pretty nice Lucroit graduated neutral density filter as well. Got that as well for the trip. Let's go to the other side here. This side pouch, I just have lens cleaning cloths, and I usually just kind of leave these in my camera bag. One of my favorite things to do, and like I said, I'm really all about practicality with photography and with approaching scenes, because for me, you know, some of my best imagery has come from spontaneous, off-the-cuff road trips where I'm just in an environment that inspires me. So always want to be kind of prepared for these moments, and never really, for me at least, focusing too much on the tech side of things. And I think there's little things that can help go a long way in that regard. And this is just like a microfiber blanket or towel, rather, that I just cut up and use as a camera cloth. Really soft, works great. Plus it has an awesome little like little clip basically that you can put it to any little piece of equipment. So things like this, they come in so much handy. You know, just get them at any outdoor store. Going through the gear. So in here I've got 2 things. I have my basically my everyday camera kit. Just everything I need pretty much right in this little guy right here. And I've got this like this because I'm not the type of person that wants to hike with my backpack to a spot, set everything down, pull it out. Usually when I'm shooting and I'm pretty actively shooting in one area, I'll just have a shoulder bag where I can grab my cameras in and out of constantly and be kind of shooting and moving around. So this provides me a really cool opportunity to basically just take this out of my backpack and shove it into a tiny little Mountain Smith shoulder bag. And this thing's great, just pops into here, right? And then I've got an awesome little thing that I can hike with. It's a full-on lumbar pack, right? Works really good. So what's inside this? Well, let's explore that. I have my 16-35 Sony a7 II with a polarizer. And I have a 24-70 with a polarizer. Also have my memory cards, which I will keep in this bag as well. In addition to that, I've got an f-stop ICU that can kind of sit basically inside my bag. I guess if I'm actively shooting, I'm going to be pulling stuff out of here and putting it into there and replacing it. So if it's nighttime, I'm going to come to my camera bag and I'm going to say, okay, it's nighttime. Now I want to shoot with an A7S. It's the optimal camera to shoot evening stuff or higher ISO. And I have a couple of lenses that I've kind of brought for that. I have the new 28 millimeter f2 Sony lens that has a fisheye adapter on it. If I want to shoot f2, ultra wide landscapes or something like that. This is on my A7S. And I also have my go-to nighttime lens, which is this 24 f1.4 Rokinon lens. So most of my evening stuff I'll shoot with this lens as well if I'm doing time lapses of stars or something like that. Also have in here a small little Nikon waterproof camera. So I don't really plan to go there and shoot with my underwater housing, but I love this little camera because if I'm gonna be somewhere where I just need to shove something into the water, I'll bring this and a GoPro or an action cam and I'll be good to go, right? So it gives me the opportunity to basically just, get a creative angle on a cool waterfall or get a creative angle on a cool space that I haven't been before, or maybe shoot someone in the water with, a kayak or this and that, and this can kind of do that. So just something simple. If the weather turns to crap as well, it's a great camera to have on hand. A blower, a little Arctic butterfly brush just to clean the sensor just in case, and then a big grad that I can use for shooting landscapes and whatnot. So that's the basic camera kit that I'm bringing. Let's move to, I guess, the outdoor gear so we can kind of see what essentials. And like I said, there's a multitude of different things you could shoot in Yosemite Valley or really anywhere in the Sierras or outdoors. But for me, it's more about finding a balance between two things. First of all, enjoying the place that you're going to, since this isn't a commercial shoot or it's not an editorial shoot, as well as bringing enough gear so that you kind of have what you need just in case, right? 90% of the stuff you probably won't use. Most likely, and I think most photographers would agree, they end up bringing all this gear, they end up using one lens, one camera the entire time. But at the same time, you never really know. So being prepared for those situations is kind of crucial. So that's that. Solomon shoes, they'll go with me. I'll have a tiny little bag that's, just has a laptop and some chargers in there. It's got like camera chargers and some other things. Goal Zero chargers I can also charge my cameras with just in case if things I start depleting a lot of batteries, maybe I'm running a lot of time lapses or something and I need some extra juice. This is just stuff so I can stay on the road, be out in the field working rather than go back to a car, use 12 volt or something like that. Also my laptop and some other chargers in this little Arc'teryx bag. And like I said, really, we're just going on a kind of a road trip, so we're not planning to do a big strenuous hike or anything like that, but if in fact that opportunity arises and we want to get an awesome view of Vernal Falls or Nevada Falls at night, I'm going to bring that gear as well. So I'll bring ultralight kind of backpack. This is like a Arc'teryx Comski backpack where I have side access in case I want to put a camera bag in here or a little ICU. I can just shove it inside here along with my tent, sleeping bag, and some essentials. Trekking poles, Black Diamond trekking poles. And then basically this is just kind of a road trip car camping sort of duffel that has my sleeping bag. It's got a pad, Nemo pad. It's got my whole tent unit in here, which is a Nemo 2-person tent, as well as a hammock, right? So kind of all the essentials just kind of put into this big bag because 90% of the time we're car camping, we're camping 10 feet from our car. But if in fact I need to go somewhere, I can shove all of this into my backpack with a camera and I can go hit the trails. And that's kind of the objective here, I think, is to be prepared for both, right? Bring enough gear where if I have some other awesome opportunities to shoot some stuff, I'm prepared for that, but also if I need to go super lightweight and pare down, I can do that as well. The only other thing I'm going to bring is this guy, which looks like a box, and it is a box. It's a kayak that kind of builds out into a kayak. It's just a portable unit, so it's really fun to get on the water. Maybe I want to shoot a perspective of Half Dome I've never seen before, and I want to get on the water on the Merced and shoot a perspective or shoot someone kayaking through a river. This is kind of a cool little tool to have along the way, and it doesn't take up much space in my van. So yeah, it'll come with me. And that's pretty much that. So I'm going to get to packing.